I'm going to start a little differently. I'm going to, first of all, I don't know if I get extra time for this or not, Aleda. I discovered that on the pamphlet that you all received, that the Unitarian Universalist religious symbol is missing. And so that is what you find in front of where I am sitting, which is a flaming chalice. That is the symbol for Unitarian Universalism. The chalice itself representing the bowl in which community is to be found, as well as love, as well as the opportunity for both nourishment and challenge. The flame, of course, is recognized by many, many religions and culture as representing sacrifice, illumination, courage, and truth. And so this is the symbol that is probably going to be found on this pamphlet next year. It was suggested that we begin, as I believe all the three gentlemen have begun, to talk about the context in which our beliefs are found. And in the case of Unitarian Universalism, our context started in the 16th century from the Reformation, both in Poland and in Transylvania, which used to be both in Romania and Hungary. It's now just in Romania. And as a result of individuals being able to read the Bible for themselves, thanks to the creation of the Gutenberg Press. And what we found, we Unitarians found, when we looked at the Bible, was that God was a unity, and that Jesus was divine but not the same as God. So the name Unitarian connotes the oneness of God. We were immediately labeled as heretics, which in these days is actually a very exciting, and we're very happy to be considered heretics, because the word heretics, as many of you will know, I'm sure, means the ability to choose. And we feel it is important to be able to choose what you believe and how you will live your life. Universalism, the other half of our name, was first seen as a singular branch of Christianity in the 17th century. This name came from the insight read in the Bible that told us, from the way we read it, that universal salvation after life was going to be what was going to happen, not just salvation of any chosen group. Now, it's possible that some of us might have to spend several thousand years in purgatory first, but that we would all eventually end up in heaven. And we do have the names of brave men and women who promoted these two ways of seeing reality, of interpreting life, but no single person is considered to us our avatar or our guru, because revelation to us is not sealed, it is ongoing. One never knows from where one will find more insight, more understanding, more expansion of a truth that may have been understood earlier. Well, both Unitarians and Universalists arrived on the North American continent in the late 18th and early 19th century, but by the 20th century, for many reasons, both Unitarians and Universalists moved out of the Christian-specific fold and began our own religion. We now include people within our faith who are Christian, Buddhist, Jewish, humanist, pagan, theist, mystic, agnostic, and atheist. I may have missed several, but that's an overview. We have 7 religious principles to guide us, and those principles we covenant and affirm to promote are, first of all, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Secondly, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. Third, acceptance of each other and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. Fourth, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Fifth, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. Sixth is the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. And the seventh is respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part, not the owners of it, simply a part. These religious principles were created by different groups and then agreed to at congregational levels, then regional levels, then national levels, and then continental levels. We try always, one of the things that's not different from everyone perhaps, but is not quite as common as we would love to see it, we try to the best of our ability always to use inclusive language to demonstrate that we see all genders as equal. For example, we would say humankind instead of mankind, parenting instead of mothering, fair play instead of sportsmanship, workforce instead of manpower. We invite all groups of people to worship with us, all caring, compassionate, and truthful people to worship with us and to take on leadership positions, irregardless of whether they are heterosexual, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. There is also no position in our congregations that is either for males or females. We do not acknowledge any single person, as I said before, as our Savior, because revelation, we feel, is ongoing. We acknowledge extremely ambiguity and change as an ongoing reality in our lives. Spiritual development. In our worship services, we almost always have a time for either silent or guided meditation. It is a form of prayer, of reaching both outward and inward for guidance, a way of listening to the deep words or sometimes wordlessness and meanings emanating from deep within or from far beyond us. This often is accompanied by the sounding of a bell, a prayer bell, to bring focus to the meditation. We also conduct workshops so that can help people to examine their way of being in the world and whether or not it is in sync with their values and with the way they truly wish to live out their religious values. This is one way of developing a spiritual side, we feel. Unitarian Universalists are expected to take some responsibility on their own shoulders regarding their spiritual development by a number of methods. For example, reading books, conversing with others both inside and outside their own faith perspective, by being willing to participate in the building of religious community and in the rituals that bring us together in mind, heart, and spirit. A deeply involved and evolved spiritual person will not necessarily look different from others, at least not in their wearing apparel. It will be more obvious in their attitudes, in the way in which they respond to themselves and to others, in their joyful and non-egotistical way of relating to themselves and to others. There will be probably what others might describe as a glow about them as they go about their day-to-day lives. Their presence will definitely refresh and relax others. Thank you for your time.